So one of the biggest lessons I've learned in life is that I'm not all love. I am dark as well. I'm half and half. Luckily enough, I've got God. So that just takes me straight out of duality. But trying to just be all love all the time is just sometimes doesn't work in this world with the way things are. People will just take you for granted, take the mickey out of you, push you as far as you can be pushed basically and suck all your energy away from you. So I've learned actually to kind of play the game. I don't really have many feelings inside anymore. I'm quite balanced. It takes a lot to get an emotional reaction out of me, even if at all. So I can kind of just play a game. I can kind of pretend to be angry like you would do with a kid, which kind of throws the person off a little bit, or changes the energy, but not in my way. So I get vampirized. I think I've spent most of my life trying to be just perfect and loving, and sometimes it's just not what's called for, especially in the world that we live in. I like to say that I've been kind of forged by this modern society as a spiritual person, as someone that's connected to God, you know. So sometimes that's what's needed. You can't sit there while someone's kicking you, or sometimes life will just batter you over and over. The people that are doing this to us, life itself. I know it's all God, I get that, but if I'm God, then I'm going to make the change as well, right? Sometimes it takes for that woman not to get off the back of the bus because she's told to get off the back of the bus, that makes that change. God made that happen. God, she was a tool for God consciousness, awareness source, whatever you want to call it. So I think this is kind of the new spirituality, the modern day spirituality that's been created, because things need to change. I know, I get it. There was a time and a place where things were so different that love and peace and gratefulness, all these things were just so far beyond our world that people needed to anchor that in. So one of the best ways to do that would have been to opt out of society and go and sit on a mountain meditating, or go into a retreat doing self-inquiry, to hold that space for people that wanted to awaken and are in their last days or whatever. I think there's this time sort of and a place for all of that, and that's very much, there's still people out there that are doing that. But yeah, for the people that are living in a modern day society, like most of us, I'm working, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. I love my community too much. I love the people around me, and I love myself too much, and I love this world, you know what I mean? I don't want to run away from anything. So yeah, how do I adapt my spirituality into the now, into what we're facing now, with all this drama that's being created around me. I don't want to keep going on about it too much, because I'm sure everyone's aware of all the stuff that's happening, and I think it's a test. It's a test on humanity, It's a test on us, to see who we are, and what are we capable of dealing with. We are God, Christ consciousness, source, God, whatever you want to call it, Buddha's consciousness. We are that. We are natural peace inside, but God, we got a fire about us as well, and we should not let things just take the mickey out of us, push us too far. Yeah, I think that's one of our superpowers, is that we are full of love, and we are full of peace, and we are full of that. But when it takes time to take action, and when it's time to move in that a certain direction, we do it without fear. We do it without anything going on inside of us, any anger, any sort of malice or anything. It's just done because it's the right thing to do. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't think for me, in any part of my life, have I felt in so much peace, so much bliss, so much gratefulness, so much thankfulness for everything that's going on around me, and everything that's going on inside of me. It's my strength. I'll stick myself in the storm. I'm in the storm every day, you know. Like I work in a crazy place in a restaurant. Just having a laugh with a friend about it not so long ago. Like he was saying, yeah, we work in hell, and I'm like, look, man, who needs ayahuasca and plant medicine? You know, just try and keep your peace in the job, like, because like sometimes it's absolute hell, you know. And people are losing themselves around you. They're like you're treated like quite badly to a certain degree because everyone's getting squeezed, you know. Even the businessmen are getting squeezed. They're like squeezing the staff, which is pretty goddamn normal, to be honest. Like, if I'm 100% honest, you know. And greed is a disease in our society. But like, yeah, when everyone's losing it around you and you've got things coming in and sucking energy and they're turning and they're shouting and stuff, and you've got this smile on your face and you feel good and you're like loving it. Just, you know, that's hard sometimes not to like get sucked into the drama, you know. Like, and yeah, I think the life that we live in at the moment is very much like that. Yeah, seeing all these things going on the outside world and not really reacting to them. I suppose it's like, if you want, it's like my faith and my knowing inside is that like everything's just going to be all right, and the deal's already really done. And I just see like these souls that like are godless, that are full of fear and panic out there, you know, and they're like looking at us and they see this awakening coming, this tidal wave, you know, and they like been watching it for a while and it's picking up momentum. And like it's not just here, like out in the universe, and other things are moving towards this and helping us out. And yeah, like God is touching people. Grace, there's beings out there that help. And I'm not saying they're all good, but there's a lot of bad ones. But they can't be all bad. It's just ridiculous to think that in a world like which is infinite, you know. And I know that like things are helping us. And I bet they're panicking. It's like panic time for them. Do you know what I mean? They're like, oh my God, if they wake up, we're in trouble, you know? I can, that's basically their food source stops. If you're feeding off people's fear and negativity, you know, or you get happy even off people's fear and negativity, and it's something that drives you, and you're like, you greed, you like holding on to everything, you know, survival, can't lose any of our wealth when you own like 96% of the world's wealth. Like there's something there, you know, like they're terrified of losing that wealth. Well, they're gonna lose everything, dude, you know. And like they're gonna lose all of it, you know. And then like they lose their food, and then they, you know, they've got no like energy coming their way. And yeah, so yeah, I feel sorry for them because they're they're going to suffer more than anything, and they've disconnected themselves from the very thing that could save them or be there for them, which is God consciousness, Christ consciousness, love, peace, whatever you want to call it, man. It's all got so many names, awareness, and you know, it's all the same thing. So yeah, like, I mean, for me, like, I didn't even try to do a lot of stuff. Like, everything kind of happened so naturally for me. I was touched by grace, by God. I'm sure many of you are going through this, and I'm sure if you're not, you could be, or it's the opportunities there. So people, yeah, don't worry, don't panic, because life is beautiful and life has so many things, you know, to be grateful for. And I can see this all the time around me. I don't really feel separate from anything anymore, you know, like I am life. I am nature, I am everything. And when you feel like that, I'm eternal as well, you know. We're all eternal. Like none of us die. This is just a passing dream. This is what happening here, you know. It's a flicker of the imagination, yeah. And whatever system, whatever you believe in, you know, that's available for anyone. I think that's one of the beauties, is that like whatever system you believe in, and whatever religion, whatever spirituality, whatever, it's all available for you. So be careful what you're choosing, you know, because sometimes like it's not the best path. So there's always a better path. Like, you know, I think some people are just done with this and just want to opt out, which I think it's definitely available if you want to do that, and I'm certain of it. And I don't know, like I always had this feeling that I don't want to be reborn and everything like this, but I never lived in paradise, man. I never lived in like I do now. Like I kind of understand it. Like I kind of get it. This is the way it was supposed to be. This is the way we were supposed to be feeling. This is who we actually are. We are, God embodied. Like there's nothing to fear or anything. To me, it's just like a big movie thing that's going on at the moment. Yeah, and we kind of like have the ability to change that movie and script that movie, and everything is possible. So, I've gone from someone who's like, oh, I don't want to be reborn again, like to like, well, if the original blueprint and the original way it was supposed to be, maybe it's not too bad, and you just ascend anyway. A more in tune reality, that suits the being, the more, perfect basically to who you are. Like everything would be perfect. And yeah, you'd probably end up coming back into another system at some point because you'd get to a point where, you'd lived and everything was so perfect and blah, blah, blah. And this is probably all going to happen again somewhere else. I mean, I guess it's just God playing in it or whatever in the Matrix. Many false many matrices everywhere. It's kind of a really beautiful story, really. Well, it is. It's a marvelous story, even here, because like it's absolute chaos. Like how can someone be in such peace and not be running from it either? Not be hiding from it, and not. I like face it full on. And I still love life. I love everything that's going on in life. This is just a message for you guys, and just to show you like this is what's happened to me after all of everything that's going on. I've kind of reached this serenity and this peace and this beauty in life, and it's all available. Love and peace, guys. Love and peace, man. So everything in this video is from personal experience and for entertainment purposes only.